since we're speaking of Disney, let's talk about Disney's AI task force that they have mobilized. This is a very hot topic right now in the Hollywood circles because of like the strikes and stuff. But basically, before the strikes happened, Disney created an AI task force to explore how they could utilize AI across all their businesses to cut costs. And I found this kind of interesting because it's not only about, making movies and stuff like that, but it's also about their parks, like how they want to create robots to replace the people in costume who walk around and like interact with other human beings. But it gets really down into the nitty gritty stuff about like capturing people's faces and recreating them and stuff like that, and how like they tried to incorporate AI in that failed Star Wars hotel of theirs and all this interesting stuff. But a big contention here in Hollywood is like, hey, like AI is going to replace everyone's job. So I wanted to get the panel's take on this. Tom Connors, what do you think of Disney's AI task forces?
No, like this AI thing is insane. Like, I mean, look, it can be used as a useful tool, but these studios are. I'm assuming you're talking about like this idea that because they've been hiring these guys that are costing almost like $1 billion a year to run their AI program systems or whatever. Is that what you're discussing?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, when they're in the midst of a strike and negotiating with writers and actors, and AI is one of the biggest sticking points of both, I think it's a bad move publicly. But at the same time, we have to understand they got to stay on top of this stuff for business. And I mean, honestly, I can't believe how it's alarming to me how it feels like the studios are not panicking over AI like they did over the VCR back in the day. Because I would think they would be panicking the same way. Because really, once AI gets to that point, we can sit there and tell it, look, I want to watch Spider-Man 3, but I want Tom Holland in it instead of Tobey Maguire. And it can do that for you. Right? So, like, I mean, these studios are looking at, like, I can't believe they're not getting to this point where they should be worrying about getting regulations and stuff done for this. Because sooner or later, people are going to be able to manipulate movies and stuff. And when is the argument going to be made? Is it a wholly new original product now that this person has come in and came up with these ideas to alter it? Does that cover this whole thing? To me is like crazy because, again, at the end of the day, all AI does is feed from something that already exists. Calling it AI is almost like an oxymoron of sorts, or whatever you want to call it. It's an anachronism, or not. I don't know the word I'm looking for, but it's not real. It's actually simulated intelligence because it's not making anything new. It's pulling from existing elements. So
it's true.
It's a very muddy ground, and I can't believe they're not more worried about the regulations on it and how it's going to affect the future business going forward than they are this whole thing about how it's going to help them right now save a few bucks on some extras in the background. Well, that to me is a bigger like deal in the end of the day. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, real quick, just want to give a shout out to Jillian N, who gifted 5 subs, helping us meet our membership goal for the stream. Jillian, thank you so much. We really appreciate you. And be sure, those of you who got the gifted subs, check out our members area. We have a playlist on our Salty Nerd YouTube homepage that has all those previous member videos for you. So we put out a new one every Monday. Michelle, some of the AI stuff could really be disruptive to the industry. Like, Tom talked about replacing actors in movies, but it could even be something like, hey, instead of hiring people to dub a movie, they can just tell the AI, hey, make everyone's dialogue Spanish or, French or like whatever. But in this article, they even point out, hey, we're going to be using AI to control robots in our theme parks to walk around and interact with other people.
What's that's going to end real well, guys.
What's your take
seen this movie already?
What's your take on how
Five Nights at Freddy's? Anyone?
I was thinking more Terminator, but yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like it at all, quite frankly. I think this could even be a bigger conversation. I think the difference of true capitalism and like corporatism. Because with these big corporations, they have the money to replace people and replace jobs with AI as this continues to grow. And I think that's a worthy conversation because eventually, I mean, is anyone going to have a job? Like, are we just, is everything going to be robots? Like, I mean, it gets to that point. And it also just loses. I don't know about you. Some days I literally hate the fact that I go into a grocery store and I have to do it myself. Like, I don't want to do everything myself.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's what everything's going to. So if you make, people are already not happy with the changes the parks have done with how everything's on your phone and stuff, and you can't just pay for anything anymore. So I think if they further make it more like computer generated and remove the human element, I think you're going to see numbers go down because I just don't think people want that.
I gotta say, you got a point on the grocery store thing.
Ugh.
First off, I used to have a problem with the self-checkout. Then I realized that every time I'm forced to work for them for free, I'm just going to not ring up a couple things as it comes through.
Yeah.
And you know what? You're paying for my time right now. Sorry, guys, the ketchup was free. But what makes it worse is when you go to like Ralph's and they have like a listed price where it's like membership price and value price, whatever, and there's like a QR code. And in your mind, you're like, oh, well, I have a membership, so this is the price. But no, you got to scan the fucking thing with your phone first and do all this complicated QR code nonsense. It's the worst. Like, don't do that. Don't fool people with the QR code. Why are we even doing the QR codes? It's so stupid.
So,
I sound like an old man, and I don't know. I might be the oldest one on the panel. I don't know how old Tom is, but
103.
Yeah, but when
most days
when I was a kid, everybody had that job. They, in my small town, you got a job pumping gas, you got a job working for the local farmer, changing irrigation pipe or hauling hay or something when you're 15 years old, or you got a job working at the grocery store, being a box boy and a bagger. And that was back in the day. That was right at the end of the days when you'd bag the groceries and put them in the cart. Take the cart with the lady out to her car. Put the bags in the car, and you might get 50 cents or something for a tip. But that
was one of my first jobs, yeah.
Right. And people were losing the ability to get young people into a workforce to teach them how to work. Because all of a sudden now people want $20 to work a freaking In-N-Out. It's insane.
Yeah. They think they can come out of school and be in a corporate. Yeah.
McDonald's is like paying these jobs, $20 an hour.
Yeah. These aren't career jobs. These are burger flipping jobs to teach you some work ethic.
These are stepstone. You're not supposed to be there when you're 50. Okay?
Right. But on the other thing, as far as the AI is concerned, I'm concerned about people that are doing my job. I have a job. I work in surveillance in the casino industry. I monitor gaming. I monitor gambling, and I catch card counters and cheaters on all these games. And I monitor all the cash in, cash out, the cages, the cashiers, the bars. I'm not going to have a job fairly soon because 5 years ago I went to a conference when I was in management at another casino, and I saw the technology that they were using this AI stuff for. And this was 5 years ago, AI. Okay. And these machines were able to tell you every card, every chip that was on the table, everybody's totals that they had. You could go back 30 hands ago, and the machine could tell you what your hand was and how much you had bet. You could push a button and you could get a report out for the entire day of exactly to the penny how much that certain table is up or down or whatever. These are things that I do that take me sometimes hours, and the ability is out there to do it with the push of a button. But it's just not cost effective right now for these casinos.
Right.
It's cheaper for them to hire me to do this by the hour than for them to get this expensive.
But it's going to get
AI
to that
computer
point.
equipment. But it's soon.
Yes.
Probably within the next 10 years, that's not going to be the case, and I'm going to be SOL. There's going to be people in the surveillance rooms that I work in and in these places that they're going to have IT degrees, and they're going to be required because the gaming commission is going to say that there has to be a certain number of humans around or something like that. But
and this is
it's the 10-person room in the business that I work with is going to be down to 2 or 3, and it's just it sucks, and it's just and that's happening all across the country, across the world. All of our jobs are going to be reduced to low paying IT work.
Well,
know
what
I'm
did we
saying?
find out over COVID?
So-
They found out they can
right.
make us work from home, which is
Right.
even worse. And again, everything you're explaining, Vader, which is weird, is like I know most people overlooked the RoboCop remake, but I
It's happening.
revisited it. And it's like, okay, I see now what the two difference between the original RoboCop and the remake is. The remake is talking about everything you just said, Vader. The original movie is a totally different movie, and that's why I looked at it with brand new eyes when I watched it, and I say people should revisit it, because the new RoboCop is more about is the machine more efficient, or does it matter at the end of the day? Because that's the question they keep asking themselves, is just because Murphy would hesitate for that extra half a second, they would say, well, the AI is better. But then they're like, well, what if it's a kid? Or what if it's something that the AI can't really delineate difference of? And that's what you're saying. It's like, it's just like you said, eventually they're going to get down to 2-3 humans, but they still want that human element. But the true fact is they want that human element out. Why? Because the human element is still a human element. If it's all AI, then the AI can't steal. See, that's the thing.
Right, that's it.
You know, and there's other things to it too. But I'm saying on a bigger scale, like that's where I think we're not paying attention to a lot of this stuff. And you're 100% right.
Yeah, you know, in the casino business, you know, and these haven't really caught on a whole lot yet. But I went home to Oregon a couple of years ago to the casino I used to work in up there, and they don't have any cocktail waitresses on the floor anymore, because a person needs to just go up to this dispenser and push a button, and then they get their drink, because it's easier for them to do that than to hire 5 girls in short dress to go out there and get schlep people's drinks around.
That is a shame, honestly.
It's wild. It's how much money are they saving there? And that was years ago, a few years ago.
So let me throw this to Odin, because basically Disney's come under a lot of fire specifically for the union strikes in terms of like how they're using new technology to basically not only replace actors and writers and stuff like that, but also take advantage of them, like getting their likeness rights for background extras and stuff like that. So do you think that this AI council that they've essentially created is more proof that Disney's the enemy?
I mean, well, obviously Disney be the enemy. And as soon as you said an AI council, I immediately was like, oh man, this just starting to sound like Dark Empire stuff here with the Council of AI Technology.
Yes.
It's like, oh boy, this is about to get really dark. But also, it made me ask the question. You brought up the strike. It also made me wonder. I'm wondering if this is one of the many reasons why the studios are dragging their feet as much as they are with the writer strike and the actor strike, not necessarily because they're trying to, pressure the actors or writers to take less, but could it also possibly be that they're trying to figure out, okay, before we make any long-term commitments, we need to figure out, where is AI going to be? It's like, because if we're going to see in 10 years, 5-10 years, that AI is going to be at the point where we don't really need as many writers as we once did, or we don't really need as many actors for background or for, voice work or whatever it might be. Again, that could be ultimately something that they're considering. And for someone, talking about jobs, I know for me, AI is definitely something that at some point it's going to be something that will take a job like mine, because as a teacher, that is something that people are already able to teach themselves with YouTube videos and with, other people teaching in this online space. You add AI, which will be able to calculate where you are, like what level you're at in any given subject, and then actually provide you lessons specifically for you when it gets access to like textbooks and just all this other stuff. If it doesn't already have access to it, then game over for that. And I understand in certain respects that could be a good thing for those that maybe aren't a big fan of school. And so you may not need, for instance, higher education as much, whereas lower education, you obviously need the, childcare providers, things like that. But it is interesting to see where AI is pushing all of these things, especially in the entertainment industry, because it is eventually going to get to the point where, as you said, you'll be able to push a button and say, I want to see this movie with this maybe slight change or variation. Or, hey, it could even get so good that it's, hey, I want to get an Indiana Jones 3 that is not crap. And you could say, hey, here's the basic plot elements I want to see.
Indiana Jones 3 wasn't crap, dude.
Sorry, Indiana Jones 4. My bad.
That's what I was going to say. I knew
Bro.
what you meant.
My
Glad
bad.
you
My
corrected me.
bad. I misspoke.
The hair on
Thank you for-
the hair on my neck
thank
just
you.
stood up.
I
I was like,
Thank you for
I
correcting
almost
me.
booted him from the.
I was
While Odin's saying this, bring this up on screen. He can continue, and you can see exactly what he's talking about here. Like somebody just posted this on
I saw
Twitter.
that.
This is how scary it's getting. Like, look at this.
It's wild.
oh my god, that's badass.
I want to play as Freddie Mercury versus
Oh,
Bowie.
yeah, bro.
Oh my God, Steve Irwin without a hand?
Oh, this is. Wait, go back to Steve Irwin real quick. Oh my God, that was
have a
awesome,
Steve
bro.
Jobs.
What is this? I want to play this so badly.
Somebody just made this. This is like Mortal Kombat through AI with just random celebrities.
That's rad, bro.
Yeah.
Hendrix. Oh, cool.
Steve Jobs.
Can I just point out that Tom is pointing out how things are going to get replaced by AI, and Brian's going there. Oh my God, I want to play that game. That is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
It's cool, bro.
That's
I'm
rad. You guys turned off before Mr. Rogers showed up in a kimono. I mean, come on.
Bro, that is rad. I'm sorry. That's the coolest thing I've seen in a long time.
Dressed like a Street Fighter character.
I'm sorry though, but
Hunter Biden on a PC.
To Odin's point, if I could hit a button and say make a good version of The Last Jedi, I probably would.
Yeah, you probably could. I bet you ChatGPT can write a better script than
because AI could actually create seeing the big three one last time, and it might get to the point where it looks so realistic that you might be able to have that uncanny valley still there, so you can still know it's not true. But hey, it's like, hey, at least it's better than what we got with the lack of that.
Speaking of that, Nick 6 for 2 months, a member. If you can't write better than a robot, you should be replaced.
Well, and that goes to what I was saying before. Until they actually create actual AI, all the writing part is doing is just pulling from existing things, right? Like, but what Odin is saying is that's where I think the studios need to start to worry, because sooner or later somebody through AI is going to just end up, because we've already seen like the Wes Anderson version of Star Wars and stuff like that. Sooner or later, somebody's going to create a new Force Awakens and fix all those problems. And you're going to have like the Phantom edit all over again times 12. And people are going to react to that movie the same way you guys were just reacting to that trailer I just showed.
Yeah, beyond that, Tom, it's one of those situations where the technology is going to become so advanced that someone sitting alone in their home office could make a AAA $100 million movie
That's what I mean.
just from their computer and actually release it to compete with these studios. Real quick, Rec Thoughts for $2 says AI will make depopulation easier. Probably.
Great.
Hey guys, if you like this podcast, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and comment below on your favorite video as well. That goes a long way with helping us boost our channel and get out there in front of more people. And it lets YouTube know that we're doing something right. And if you want to catch us live, we go live 2 times a week, once on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific time and on Tuesdays at 1:30 p.m. Pacific time. So join us there in the chat. We will see you on the live stream. Stay salty.